Hey everyone, John Malenzak here to do a great overview of all the great things about Essential Elements music class and how you can use it in your classroom and all of the available resources and songs and features. I'm here with my good friend Tony Beatrice, the Executive Director of the Arts for Boston Public Schools, who is our resident teacher expert who will be asking questions throughout and making sure I don't forget to say anything and keeping me on task. So with that, let's dig right into how to use Essential Elements music class. So to get started, the heart of Essential Elements music class as a product is about the great songs that we have and all the available ways to learn the songs, including all the resources around songs. So I want to start by going into a song and showing all the different ways to experience the song, and then I'll show you how to sort and filter through songs and make playlists next. So here's an example of a song. We give the grade range and information that's presented in this particular song. And you'll notice that songs have all these various ways of experiencing them. Now, not every song has every one of these resources. We are putting out more interactive content every week, almost every day, and we're adding new songs regularly. So you'll notice that some songs might have a lyric video instead of a choreography video, or some may not have the backing track. It does vary, but you can actually search and see what songs have which resources, and I'll show you that. But I wanted to start just by showing you just some of the philosophy about the songs we're creating. Everything is extremely high quality, professionally recorded backing tracks, and using kids' voices and kids' videos to demonstrate. So I'm going to start by just pulling up the music notation view. And there's a full music notation view here that shows the notation with the backing track, and I'll play this and you should be able to hear it through the recording. So I'm going to give you just a little sense. So you can scroll with the notation and the lyrics, and it'll scroll along right here in this view. You also have the option of just a highlighted lyric view. So there's also what we call our lyric player. So you can just have students have a highlighted view to be able to see that. So you have the opportunities. I love that Tony is singing along. Tony is actually shaking his sillies out if you're not watching this demonstration. So of course, if you need access to just the backing track, you can grab the backing track and just play this or download it. We fully understand that you might be in a performance situation where you don't have internet access and you may need to download this track. So you have the demonstration audio and the accompaniment only. So you can access the backing track for the kids to sing along with. That's cue Tony. Shake my sillies out. I'll be shaking my sillies out this weekend for sure. So PDF, we do have available PDF accompaniments, so you can actually download piano accompaniments as needed if you would need that as well. And then we also are adding choreography videos of students. So if there's a movement activity involved, you can see actually a demonstration video. All the new videos that we're recording include kids showing kids how to do this. So we want kids' voices, kids' images as much as possible. And of course, we're always looking to make sure that all those videos include a diverse group of students. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. Here's a demonstration of the movement activities. So there's that. So that was a good example of all the different ways, and all of these resources are available for this particular song, right? And so you have many ways to be able to have students engage and learn a particular song. So I have another example. Here's a song that's a little bit more recent, Lean On Me. We did an arrangement earlier this year. So again, same thing, all the different assets. Now, I do want to show that if you're browsing all the songs, so I'll go back to the full interface. You go to Browse and Songs, which is the basic start. If you're looking for a song, we'll always show the most recent. You'll see just added at the top for a week of everything that's new. So you can actually filter and find songs for your needs. So these filters are really, really awesome. You can filter by all the different dynamic and grade range elements that you see. So if you notice, when you look at a song, there's grade range and different elements and theme categories as well. And you can filter by these. You could also filter by song assets. And this is a brand new feature that's really exciting. So I can go to song assets and say, I'm looking for something that has a video. But let me also add a filter. and say, I'm also looking for something for maybe, is Halloween on here, or Halloween. So I'm looking for things with Halloween that have a video, or maybe I'm looking for things at Halloween that have a lyric player. So I could go down to song assets, and you can just filter around and say, look, I'm looking at something that shows the lyrics for a Halloween song, and filter all these songs. You can also do or filters. So if you, for example, were looking for something that was seasonal, that was going to be maybe Halloween or fall, you can do an or, just switch and to or, and it will pull all of the things that have a Halloween association and a fall association, right? You can filter to your heart's desire. So this is a new way to get down to individual songs that you want to use in your class to fit really any theme that you're trying to accomplish. So the combination of song assets and the other filters are really, really helpful. I mean, we can even go crazy here and say, you know what, I want to talk about loud versus soft in my fall song. So there's that. And I can add an and here, fall and loud soft. Again, I have fun with these. So now, next step is, how do we organize all of this content and, most importantly, share it with our students online? So in EE Music class, you have a collection of playlists and class collections. You as a teacher can create as many playlists as you want. A playlist can be thought of just like a folder, right? Now, inside a playlist, you have the flexibility to add almost anything in the site. And I say almost anything, it might actually be anything, but I'll say almost just in case there's one little thing that's not there. So for example, I want to go back to the song assets. Notice when you go to a song, you will see across the site this little favorite icon and this folder plus icon. This folder plus icon is an add to playlist icon, and it is available on across the site, and I'll show you as we look through today. So I can add Shake My Sillies Out, the entire song, to my favorites, a playlist of my favorites, or I can have a songs to share playlist. So I can create any type of list. Let me just add it to my favorites. Now this song is in my playlist. Well, now notice next to each individual song asset, you also have the playlist and favorites feature. So notice that you can actually add only one song asset to a playlist. So if I wanted to make a playlist of just choreography videos for my students to have, I can add to playlist. Let me create a new playlist here. And let me, I'll just call it dancing videos. How about that? So here's a playlist of just dancing videos I want to create for my students to have. So I can add just the choreography video to that playlist. So especially for younger students, if you want to send them to just this video, you can add just this video to a playlist, and that's what gives them access. So that's how playlists work. And as I go through, I'll show you throughout the site all the different things you can add to a playlist. There's also the idea of class collections. A class collection is a collection of playlists. You can think of it as a folder of folders, right? So the basic idea is a class collection would be like third grade. You would have you would make individual playlists, maybe for fall, maybe for online access, maybe you can make a playlist of content for every week of instruction, but then a class collection would allow you to put all the third grade playlists into one collection. So it can be thought of as just a folder hierarchy, but it's an easy way to be able to manage several playlists or just one individual playlist. So you can, again, have as many class collections as you want or as many playlists as you want, and you can organize these to get all of your information. Now, the reason this is super, super exciting is you can share a direct link to any playlist or any class collection with your students, and they can access that content online with no login required. And the way this works is you go to any playlist you've created or any class collection you've created, and you see it has share class right here. On my playlists, it'll say share playlist or add to class collection, right? So let's say I have a 5th grade play and I'm putting together my 5th grade play songs. I can share playlists, and then right now, because of supporting online learning through the fall, when you create this share link, it's valid through December 31st. So you can set up your entire fall semester with share links right now. Generate share link. Ta-da, there it is. It's showing the songs that you have access to. And then here's the link, and you can copy it and you send this URL to your students, right? So your students can access this URL. It will take them to a private browsing session, like right, that they will have access to the content exactly as displayed and you see it. So the student can view it and it'll show whatever content that is. So this is how you can share anything with your students. And the sharing is done from playlists or class collections. So one of the things to get set up early on with EE music class is to really think about, I'm going to go back to all my playlists, is what content you want your students to have access to and how you want to organize it, right? You can have a playlist of just lyric videos. You can have a playlist created. You could make each week of instruction its own playlist, and you can have each grade level as a playlist, week 1, first grade, week 1, second grade. You could create a class collection of all the first grade. But again, as creative as you want to make this work. Tony, do you have any ideas about that or playlist class collections of how they could be used for teachers?
Yeah, I'm seeing a direct connection with their classroom learning management system. So in Boston, we're using Google Classroom for upper elementary, middle, high school. And at the lower elementary, we're going to be adopting Seesaw. And so this idea of just putting one link without the students needing to like remember another username and password is going to help, I think, the success rate for students to actually like gravitate towards these curriculum resources. So that's awesome. I also
100%.
I want to spend a moment and just talk about the songs that you have available. I think one of the disconnects we had Dr. Connie McCoy come in last year as our keynote speaker for our PD Day to talk about cultural responsiveness and asking our students what are they listening to, and then thinking about how we can bring that into the classroom. And copyright has always been an impediment of that, right? And so because Essential Elements is connected with Hal Leonard, we're able to access for the first time music that our students actually listen to and in the ranges that are appropriate for their grade levels. So if you could just talk about that, because I think that is so important.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, and shame on me for not even mentioning that in the first place. I mean, this is a Hal Leonard company, a Hal Leonard product. We are putting in content that no one else will have access to, including Disney, pop music, as well as traditional Kadai songs. I mean, we're mixing everything together. And yes, the arrangements we're putting in here are being created specifically for K-5 with those arrangements, with those voices. We are rearranging these songs specifically for this product. And we're recording professional backing tracks and videos for all of this. You have access to this, and great, just as a listening opportunity. Again, you could create a listening playlist for students, right in here. So we're trying to make this as a song resource tool. If it was only just that, which is so much more, the ability to have these songs and organize them in playlists and class collections and share them with your students is ideal. As far as the sharing from a data privacy standpoint, we don't need to have student accounts. I mean, we really don't want a 7th grader's personal information anyway. So the anonymous share link is ideal. And from a copyright standpoint, your license as a teacher allows you to share this content with your students. That's included in your license. And we're granting that as part of subscribing to Essential Arts Music class via these share links. So we like them as well. It's a really easy thing. And plus, it's a lot easier from a customer support standpoint to not have first graders try to figure out what their EMC password is, right? Or what's the QR code, or what's, right? Let's just make it as easy as possible, and we can integrate with all of your systems. I'm glad you mentioned the Google Seesaw, because it's very common to have 2 different LMSs. And so, that way teachers can use this content freely across multiple LMSs, not have to worry about integrating their thing with one or the other. So it's a great, great solution. So songs, playlist, collection, sharing, right? All there. Let me hop over and talk about some of the other resources that are available. So, we have this resources tab, and I'll just kind of maybe go left to right. As browse, you can browse all the songs and filter, and then you can see PDFs and video and audio files separately. And I'll talk about the rest of these in a minute. But we have all of these additional resources. So we have these recorder and ukulele methods available, and I will open these independently to show you what these look like. So all of these are built as individual steps. You'll start to notice a connection between our lesson plan steps and then our instrumental unit steps and our instrument map steps, because the platform is built on very consistent modular-based approach, which once you get used to, it'll make sense. Notice that this entire method can be shared, right? But also every individual step of this lesson has the plus. So you could add literally just the first tone screen to a playlist for students, right? Every little thing can be accessed. So every time you see this plus, it's available, right? So in this recorder unit, I'll kind of launch you can launch from an individual step, or you can just launch it and you can scroll through all the steps. So here's the interface, step 2, and there's interactive content involved in the steps. So I'll go over to step 3, right? All of these steps are available. Now, not only can you share individual steps, now you have the ability to disable individual steps. They're all checked. Watch this. I can deactivate steps, right? So this is a newer feature. So you can go in and customize this and deactivate steps as you like. So then if you launch into this method and you want to scroll through, it will skip the deactivated steps and take you right to the next active step. So this is customizable. You can also drag and drop lesson steps of any of these. So you can rearrange all of this. So notice at the top, there's variations. You can save it. You can create a variation. I've deactivated, I've moved steps around. I can save a variation of this particular lesson and give it an own name, and it'll save in a drop down for you right here. And then you can share your variation or add new variations as you need. So this applies to the recorder unit, this applies to the ukulele method, and it applies to all of our lessons, right? So before I show other resources, I want to show that, the lesson plans, and there are 30 lessons coming in September, so they're all going to come very soon. But I'll show an example of a lesson. If I launch into the lesson player, notice it's the same modular step-by-step approach. You can individually disable steps of a lesson as you need to. You can save individual steps of a lesson to your own playlists, right? So all of this is available. I'll also go back to lessons, and you can share these into your own class collection. So you could instantly share an entire lesson to a class, or you could launch into lessons and share individual steps in a playlist. So there's a lot of flexibility here, right? And so especially because with online learning right now, you could create a variation of this lesson that might be the first 6 steps, right? Or maybe the first 7. We'll stop at chasing the squirrel. So I could quickly go in and say, you know what, let me just disable the last half of this lesson. And I could assign my students this lesson with the variation of first 7 steps and give them an assignment to go through the first 7 steps on their own, right? So perfectly good example. And again, if you want the learning goals front and center, drag them and you've now created your custom step, right? So if you prefer to start with learning goals and vocab before jumping into the first song, drag away, right? Make this work for you. So this format is available for all of the lessons as well. So let me hop back into resources and show you other resources, right? I'll open activity pages and listening maps next. The activity pages are printable pages as PDFs that can be used by students. So you can assign these. Notice these, like everything else, can be added to a playlist. You can make a playlist of printable PDFs that students can have access to at home. So you have these activity pages. We also have these listening maps. These are fully interactive listening maps, like everything else, added to your own playlists. You can also share all the listening maps together, and you can disable steps. So all the listening maps together essentially function as one large lesson. So you could redrag the order of listening maps if you want, right? However you want to manage these. These are actually fully interactive and clickable. I think these are great to show students. So you can play. I'm clicked up on intro. I can watch this go. Sorry, I like this one. So anyway, these are great for online learning, especially. These are great to send kids and give them some interactivity to go around. Speaking of interactive, a newer feature that hasn't been announced yet, but we're going to populate the site before we announce it, because we always want to get things out as quick as possible. You'll notice that we now have these interactives, right? These are going to show up as assessments on lessons, but we are building out interactive, call them interactives, to help better assess students' knowledge at the end of our lessons. But these are also, as these are added, are going to populate to be used. So this is in the early stages. There's 9 available now, but there will be more. But all of these are, I mean, there's a rhythm word search, right, where kids can access this, find the words, drag, and, you know, like kind of find whatever they're doing. These are tricky. Where is this tempo? No, Tara. See, now I'm trying to find one. So anyway, I guess my word search skills are pretty weak, but students can connect these. They can check their work. There's all sorts of interactives available, and all of these are coming, right? And again, each one can be shared to a playlist. So the fully developed lessons in EMC will be a combination of songs, song resources, interactives, lesson steps. Those are the types of fully developed lessons, but you as a teacher can create anything you desire as a playlist, which could essentially be your own version of a lesson, and take a song element, take an interactive, take a resource, take a listening map, and you can make one big playlist that's your own collection of resources for your students to go through. So as we present, you know, fully developed, thorough experiences, everything is customizable for your own needs.
Can you show us the
yes,
that do re mi one, the solfege?
Yes.
Where it looks like a drag and drop. Is that true?
Yes. Let's open these. These are actually very, very new. So I have not actually played with all of them. Which one are you looking for?
The one on the right, high do.
Hi, Do. Hello. Yes. So.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah. I love it.
What? 2 does? Why are there 2 does? Am I doing it right? Did I pass?
Very cool.
Yes.
Oh, and it gives you an assessment. I love it.
I got a green. You know, these are very new, right? And so we're populating these as part of a help to assess knowledge on the lessons, but these will show up as we add them. And again, we are adding content constantly. Your subscription, it just comes out as it goes. So also, I feel like one of those shows. And wait, but there's more. So also in this is this virtual library, right? So these are Hal Leonard digital books. Hal Leonard has its own proprietary digital book format that is a web-based book format that combines text and multimedia into a responsive design on any device. And we are providing access to these books. So as you can see, we have like all the great Will Schmid world drumming books in here, Rhythm Cup. We have the Hal Leonard guitar method and the entire Hal Leonard piano method accessible in EE music class, right? Bucket drumming. So you can pull up Hal Leonard guitar for kids as a digital book. And again, you can see these are not just the PDF of the book, but these include the book as well as embedded media for play along as it goes through. So there's a table of contents on the left you can go through, and you can browse and scroll. And this is fully responsive on any device. So these books are fully available. Now the books are their own format, so you can share a book to a playlist. Again, everything's shareable. But you have to share the entire book, because once you get into the book, you're in the book format. So right now, it always comes up. You can't just share one page of a book, because these are fully developed like digital books. But you can add the book to a playlist and assign a particular page number to get started, right? So all of these are available, and they're great content to be used as well.
Can you show the Rhythm Cup book? I am particularly addicted to this book. It's amazing.
Yes. So again, there's a embedded video right at the top included with the different patterns and the notation, and you can go through. So the cool thing is we can embed the videos in the book as well. So, and then here's the accompaniment audio right within. And of course, here's the other demonstration of this. So top, click, here's how you do it. And here's a demo video.
Hi, my name is
So, and they're going to demonstrate it, right? So pretty cool, huh?
Awesome.
Yeah, so again, that's in the resources. Just to kind of go back and review the methods here, the virtual library of all the digital books, the printable activity pages, the interactive listening maps, and of course the NoteFlight access. Your Essential Elements Music class subscription comes with NoteFlight Premium, which is an individual subscription for a teacher. And you can click here and it'll give you a prompt to go fill out a form to get access to NoteFlight Premium, just as an included benefit of Essential Elements Music class. So with that, I think we've covered everything. We've covered all the lessons available. We've covered all the various song activities, all the resources, how to organize everything into your own playlists, and how to sort and filter songs by need and by asset. So any questions?
I think what would be great to hear is how kind of the philosophy that's built into this program, because this isn't just, I mean, I've been using NoteFlight since it came out in 2008, right? We both know that. And so we're really looking in Boston for pedagogy and curriculum materials that are going to meet the needs of our students. And I know you know that. And so if you could just tell us like how this website was created, what's the thinking behind it, where are you going next? That I think will help.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Tony. That's a really great question. The philosophy here, I mean, I guess the thing is, how, Leonard, why get into the interactive elementary software world, right? I mean, and it's because we saw a huge need to provide, first of all, the songs we have and that we can license and that we have access to are just the best, right? And so we should be delivering them in as the songs we have access to. And then what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a really clean, easy to use platform that allows access. Because in looking at all the different elementary products, and I won't name any, but there's a lot of them and there's a lot of stuff out there, and they feel dense and they feel hard to navigate. And so this modular, consistent design of easy to understand icons, the drag and drop functionality, the playlists, we think carefully about the organization and structure and all the various filters of songs, because that it needs to be easy. It needs to be easy for teachers and it needs to be easy for students, including the anonymous, unique share link model of like, do we need a classroom management teacher login organized? I mean, do teachers need to spend time rebuilding their class management? No, they need to build their playlist of content and share it with their kids with one click. So platform and songs was really key. As we develop lessons, we have a great writing team of several people from across the country of all different various backgrounds. And we want the lessons to be fully developed, to be a solid blend of literacy, include Kodai pedagogy, as well as include those pop songs that kids have access to, and really blend to make sure we're meeting the needs of all students, right? And we looked at models of elementary curriculum and scope and sequence in various states across the country. And it does vary, right? There are some places that are like Kodai or die, and we get that. There are some places that are like, I'm just going to pull in everything, and and everything in between. So we really want to have a flexible product that serves everyone, but we want our lessons and our content truly rooted in sound pedagogy. And so that's the idea, right? We want to make sure that even when we provide fully developed hour-long lessons with multiple steps and assessments, that teachers can immediately customize it for their needs. Because I taught elementary, and I don't think, as all the curriculum I had, I don't think I ever did a full lesson where I followed a curriculum like exactly. We're always going to adapt. We're always going to move. And you need the ability, even in the lesson, when something happens, great, we're just going to skip this step today and we'll come back to it. That's really the philosophy. Sound pedagogy, easy platform, access to songs. I know you've already purchased for Boston, but I'll just say it, like affordability. Like, we're not trying to price out everyone. We understand the budgets of, elementary programs. And so while we obviously, with all the high quality content, we have lots of licensing obligations that we're taking care of to offer this content, we're going to keep this as affordable as we possibly can in relation to the quality of the content that we're offering.
That's great to hear. And I think that's important to hear, because in these times of remote and hybrid learning, A lot of vendors are giving out free or reduced rates, but then what happens is like you as a teacher love the software, and then like a year later when the funding isn't there, it's just, so this is more sustainable to adopt when it's at a price point that's real, that we can actually pay for.
Oh, 100%. And something you mentioned earlier, I should also mention, is that people have asked us this straight up, like, why can't you add 2,000 songs? Like, and of course, obviously, like, a lot of this content is interactive content that we had with Music Express and other areas at Hal Leonard was the elementary music. And people have asked, why can we have all this stuff? And, our philosophy from the beginning is we just don't want to jam a bunch of stuff into a product. And we could easily have 3,000 songs in here tomorrow because Hal Leonard has all this stuff. But we're not interested in going back to the archives from 2008 and grabbing something in what format that exists in 2008. Everything you see here is thoughtfully curated. Almost everything's re-engraved, refitted, re-recorded, new videos. So we are carefully selecting what we put in here because we want it to be quality, and we want to make sure that we're putting the songs people need and not coming out of the gate with just thousands of things that are kind of half thought through. Even the listening maps. We have hundreds and hundreds of listening maps as PDFs, but a static PDF. So we're going through carefully and going through and creating all the interactivity, and that takes time, and we have a great team that's involved in that. But we'd rather put out 1 or 2 songs and a couple new interactives a week consistently that are great than just throw everything from the past in there.
Awesome. This is everything we need to know in the BPS. This is great. We're really excited to get going and start utilizing this.
Well, awesome. Well, have fun. And, for us as a company, I would love to check in with you in a few months and say, like, what are the cool things your teachers are doing with playlists and class collections and how? Because obviously we have ideas of how these tools should work, but we want to build what teachers need. So feature requests or ideas or anything would be cool if, like, we love hearing that. So please, like, we want a relationship with our customers, not a annual sale, right?
Yes.
So
thank you.
Of course, Tony, thank you for the opportunity to go through this. This was great.